I want to talk about how many variables and differences there are in websites and in web design. So it's really interesting. It's different than a lot of other industries because most industries have standardization, or they even have like an association that creates standards and processes and procedures. But in web design, there's no standardization when it comes to how a website's put together and how the architecture is placed. Like, for example, I was working on a real estate website for a client, and we had updated one of the menus to be able to have a new search IDX. But when we went back, it was like, oh, it wasn't there. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I was like, we just updated it. And the client was saying, yeah, I remember we updated that. Why is it not there? Went back and looked. Well, it turns out that the original developer who had built this site, it wasn't me. This is a different developer. I just inherited the website. They had built a multi-dimensional menu on the site. So there's one main menu, and then there's actually three main menus. There's one main menu where we originally updated it, and then there's a left menu and a right menu that are also just shown on certain pages. So those had not been updated with the new IDX link that we needed to add. So we went in there and I updated it, I changed it, no big deal, right? But that's just what's an example of how every single website is put together in different ways. A good analogy that I kind of came up with when I was thinking about this is it would be like if every single car on the road that an automobile mechanic had to work on was all customized. Like, you know how you can customize a car by putting an intake and exhaust and different components on it and tuning and things like that. What if every single car that a mechanic had to work on was all custom built? There was no standardization in it. It would make the mechanic's job a lot harder because you have to troubleshoot and figure out how a developer put everything together and how they like to put it together. Every single website has some type of unique recipe put together. Now, when we build websites, we build them a certain way. And when I go into my websites to work on them, when I need a menu fixed, I know exactly where to go. But when I inherit other web developers' websites, it's like I have to figure out that puzzle every single time. And so it's interesting. It's definitely challenging at times, but that's part of the fun, keeps me on my toes, and definitely separates good web developers from great web developers, is how quickly they can interpret and figure out all the different details that other web developers have put together, and so that they can start to work on it and fix things and change things. So anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. That was a problem I was working on today, and I thought that I would share it with you. And if you are a business owner that's working on a website that someone built for you, or you're trying to do your own website and you're confused about why things are in one place and sometimes they're different places and everything, that's why there's no standardization. So it could really be the kitchen sink could be here one day and it could be on somewhere else in a different way, and there's no standardization to it. So anyways, this is Joe Phil with Sky Point Studios. Hope you found this interesting, and stick around for more videos just like this one. See you soon.